I've always enjoyed the creative process. Like everyone, I could draw before I could write. I don't set out to present any particular idea or message. My compositions and subjects have evolved subconsciously. I do examine my work, I do analyse what it says, but the divination isn't clear, and I think that's good. One of the consistent themes in my work is the use of animals as monuments. In my practice, I am utilising photography as a starting point, taking photos of real animals, my own childhood toys and objects from around my house. I have photographed bulls in the countryside, I have photographed toy animals on top of miniature plimps. Because monuments are inherently grand, the parody of using children's toys introduces an element of humour and subsequently a sheen of iconoclasm, while still retaining some beauty. I had a lot of toys. I could have chosen different animals, but I think I started with the cows and bull because of my name and because they're something I see a lot of at home. There are several beef herds where I walk the dog. It's an animal with loads of cultural connotations, so it was the most enticing to play with. I have some Indian heritage. My surname would place me in the Hindu Kayastha Brahmin caste. My first name is a Hindu deity. In the Hindu faith, the bull Nandi is sacred, as it is Shiva's animal form. He is worshipped as the vehicle for one of the most important gods in Hinduism. Bulls and oxen were used as ancient forms of currency. In Christianity, they were used to represent sinful idolatry. Bulls are symbols of male virility, fertility, and power. In economics, a bull's market is a market that is expecting growth. The flip side of a bull's market is a bear's market. I liked how this provided me with a fun segue to introducing another one of my favourite toys, a bear. As the stock market is unravelling, I like that this was another crossover, although I don't know very much about the mechanics of capitalism. Digital photography is a key element of my practice. I've also experimented with drawing on an iPad, but I keep returning to oil on canvas. I prefer the texture of a canvas to painting on wood or paper. I don't like the flatness of acrylic paint. When I first started out, I wasn't sure what proportions to work on, so I initially tried the same dimensions as a widescreen TV. Working on 16:9 was actually quite awkward. I kept getting dead spots on the edges of the composition. I'm currently trying A0 size stretches, and that's been a lot easier. I'm really enjoying learning more about using paint and colour. I try to add a sense of depth by starting with a coloured ground. I don't use pre-made black because this flattens out the composition. I'm building up a better palette and I'm going to try to use thinner layers of paint to start with. Recently I've tried a collaborative piece with my sister who is studying digital art photography in Bristol, which is something I really enjoyed and I hope to extend. My art student journey has been difficult. The lockdown put a big dent into my first year and I have been struggling emotionally. I started my art school journey at Spike Island in Bristol, but I am pleased that I chose to move to Nottingham. I feel like I'm only at the start of my journey as an artist, and I was robbed of a year in the studio. I'm really pleased with how far I've come. The critical guidance is so important. More recently, I've thought more about finding ways of continuing my practice after graduation. Maybe building a portfolio and looking for an MA in painting, but I will probably try to travel first.